County, uh, welcome to the Michael Zehr Show. I still don't have a name for the show yet. I appreciate the suggestions. Please keep them coming in. I think what I might do is take a poll of the names, that suggestions that have been suggested, and let you guys vote and see what you like, because nothing was really popping with me. So my guest this morning is Bryant Sayers. And Bryant, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
I actually know Bryant and have had the good fortune of going to breakfast with him a couple times. This gentleman is very active in our community, helping out quite a bit. So to get started, let's talk about where you were when you first enlisted and what branch you were in.
Okay, I was born and raised in Maple Valley, Washington, which is outside of Renton, outside of the Seattle area. I graduated in 1978 from Tahoma High School, and I trained horses for a couple of years before I decided to join the service. I joined in April of 1980, and I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic training, and after that I went down to Pensacola, Florida for my AIT in the communication field, collection field.
What made you decide to enlist? Anything happen in your family? Like, do you have family members or?
Well, I've had family members that have been in the service, the Korean War, the Civil War. My grandmothers did a history of both sides of my family, and both of my grandmothers are Native Americans. One is Blackfoot out of Canada, and the other was on the Trail of Tears from Florida towards west.
Wow!
And she was a medicine woman in that walk.
That just gave me chills for some reason. I don't know why, but it did.
Yeah, it kind of gives me chills every now and then too when I think about it. But yes, I had family members that were in the service throughout the years, and my brother and I talked about it, and we both enlisted at the same time. And he had some medical issues and wasn't able to go in.
Okay.
But I did, and like I said, I went basic training in Fort Jackson, and then down to Pensacola, Florida, for my advanced individual training in the United States Army.
And what was your MOS?
At first, for the first 10 years, I was an O5K, which is a non-Morse intercept operator. I'm not sure what they call it anymore because they've changed the.
What is the job, though? What is it?
I collected intelligence.
Oh, okay.
And I really can't say too much more about that.
I get that.
But my first 4 years was in Berlin, Germany. And the wall was still up and everything, and I do have a chunk of the wall when they tore it down.
Yeah. How cool!
Yeah,
were you there when it came down?
No, I was in Augsburg, Germany, when the wall came down, and my wife and I made a trip up to Berlin and was able to get a chunk of the wall.
Oh man, that is really cool.
Yeah. And while I was in Berlin, I made some really, really close friends that I'm still in contact with. We worked a 6-2 rotating shift, 6 days, 2 days off, 6 swings, 2 days off, 6 mids, 2 days off.
Okay.
And there was 4 of us that were extremely close. And we called ourselves the BAT team, break assault team, and we would attack Berlin on our breaks.
Oh wow!
The Kudamm, all the bars on the Kudorf, and we'd go and camp out at the lake, and just we had a great time.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And we still. We had one of our team members pass away a few years ago, but the other 2 and myself stay in contact. We Facebook or text or call each other just to check and see how each other's doing.
Have you
And,
ever had like a reunion, an actual physical meeting, or
we've had one,
did you?
and that was for the funeral back in Baltimore, Maryland.
You need to have a meeting though for a happy occasion.
Well, maybe once all this pandemic thing
Yeah.
settles down, we can finally get together again and do it. It's something that we talked about. We just it's all it's been is talk.
Right.
So it's been. I had a great time from Berlin in 1985. I got stationed at Fort Meade, Maryland, and I did a lot of TDYs there. I was out in different sites doing training on new equipment. I would train the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines on how to operate a new piece of equipment that
Okay.
had gone out. And I've been to like Misawa, Japan, Sinop, Turkey, different places in England, teaching the Air Force. And after my tour of duty there at Fort Meade, I was stationed in Augsburg, Germany, and I loved Augsburg. Augsburg was a super nice place at Field Station Augsburg, and got involved in some different community events, mainly the Boy Scouts. I became the scoutmaster over there, and we went to different youth camps over the summers while I was there to help the boys advance in the ranks and everything. And we did a lot of community service, cleaning up different housing areas in Augsburg. And then from Augsburg, I reclassed. My MOS, I was in an E5 for 8 years and couldn't get promoted. Points were so high. So I reclassed into the 33 Romeo field, which is aviation communication repair.
So what is that? Is that like repairing the radios and
I
stuff for the
repaired
helicopters?
the collection equipment that was inside the guardrail aircraft. You see them flying around here. They teach the pilots how to fly them
Right.
here at Fort Huachuca.
Uh-huh.
The RC-12s, you'll see them flying around. We had communication equipment in there. So I learned how to repair that equipment, and then was assigned to Hunter Army Airfield in Savannah, Georgia. And we did a lot of trips down to Key West, Florida, and flew our planes down there. And we came out here to Fort Huachuca a couple of times and did some training and collecting down here in this area. And after my tour, 3.5 years at Savannah, Georgia, I was stationed in Korea in Camp Humphreys, and
Okay.
did my 1 year tour over there. And one of the things that really got me about Korea was the kids. I call them kids. I guess I was a kid back then too.
Right.
They wouldn't leave the barracks. They wouldn't get out and explore Korea. There's a lot of things to see and do over in Korea. And I got to travel, visit a lot of different things on my breaks in South Korea. And after doing my tour there at Hunter Army Airfield, I was assigned here to Fort Huachuca in 1997.
So you're what, 17 years in now at that time?
At that time, I was 17 years in.
And your rank what at that time?
I was an E6 when I left Korea. As soon as I literally was getting ready to board the plane to fly out of Korea, and I got a call from my CW2, and he said, "Congratulations." And I thought he was just saying, "Well, congratulations, you did your tour, you're gone."
Right.
But they had just found out that I got picked up for E7.
Wow.
So when I got
Fantastic.
here to Fort Huachuca, after getting checked in and everything, I was able to pin on. I was number one on the 3-person list, and pinned my E7 on and went
Now,
on from there.
You may have said this and I might have missed it. you joined the U.S. Army, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, when you enlisted, because I enlisted in '77, and at that time you could pick your like first duty station and your MOS. So did you have that opportunity? Were you given that?
No.
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 Okay.
They were sent us where they needed us, and
Yeah.
they needed bodies in Berlin, Field Station Berlin, at that time, and I looked forward to it. Going overseas. A lot of the people that I went to high school with, they haven't left the general area of Maple Valley, Washington. They're still there. And when I went to my 40th reunion, they were asking, okay, where has everybody been? And I told them how much, the time that I spent in Germany and Korea, and
right.
and the TDYs that I did to like Sinop and Misawa, Japan, and Edsel, Scotland, and all the other traveling.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Wow, was that one of your TDYs, I'm
that
guessing?
Was one of my TDYs. That was a Navy base, collection base in Scotland. So,
wow,
I had a great time.
Every now and then, if you see me turning, I'm looking at the monitor for comments. So if you have any questions for Bryant, please type them in. I can see them here, and I can ask him. So now you're saying you got here.
I got here. And I started teaching the 33 field up on post, up on Fort Huachuca.
Now this was MI?
This is MI, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that time when you started doing that, had Fort Devens had already transferred here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Fort Devens, while I was in Korea, they packed up the military intelligence community, and they moved down here to Fort Huachuca. And I was talking to some of the civilian instructors, and they remember packing up their cars and driving across country to get here.
It really bothers me that these, base, what is it, BRAC, base realignment, they've been doing it for a long time, and they've closed so many bases, and it not only does it hurt the military, but it also hurts the communities that are there within those bases that are closed.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
And Fort Huachuca's been on the list a few times.
It's been on the list a couple of times since I've been here, and I keep my fingers crossed that it's going to stay open, and it has. This community, the Sierra Vista community, works so well with the Fort Huachuca community.
Oh, big
There's
time.
An excellent relationship between the two of them, and it just makes you feel good to see that relationship that Sierra Vista has with Fort Huachuca. And I can remember the monument fire that we had a few years ago.
Oh, boy.
The way that
the 10-year anniversary is coming up next month.
Yeah.
And I was one of the people that lost everything in that fire. So
yeah, the way that this community came together and helped each other out when that happened just continues to amaze me.
When the local community, when they were in control of the fire, they had it pretty well under control.
Yep.
But forgive me for saying this, but when the federal government stepped in and took over, they did not know what was going on, and when those winds hit, it just took off.
Yeah, I was told, I haven't been able to verify it or anything, but some of the restaurants in town were providing food, and the Red Cross stepped in.
Yes.
And again, I can't verify that. I'm just going with what I
They
heard.
did, because I got some, my wife and I got some assistance for the Red Cross.
Well, I was told that the Red Cross said, you guys got this. We can't do any more than what you guys are doing, and they backed away.
Right.
And the community kept helping each other out.
I remember there was this really big collection point. I think it started out as donations to help the firefighters, and stuff just kept coming in, and it ended up at Stan Greer Millworks.
Yeah.
And when my wife and I went there to get some assistance, I met some fellow, I don't like to use the word victims. Oh, I hate that word. Fellow, I don't know what word to use, to be honest with you. But, anyways, they also had suffered a loss like we did. And we met and shared our stories and became friends. The King family is one family that I met through that. And, oh, I don't know, there was a bunch of different families. But the way, like you said, the way this community just came together, uh, I love Fort Huachuca. I love Cochise County. I've been here since '77, and I don't see myself leaving anytime soon.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Bryant here, he has like a huge heart. This gentleman, and I say gentleman, does a lot for our community. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that with them. We both go to St. Andrew's Catholic Church, and Bryant does a food box. I'll let you explain it. You know more about it, so
Yeah.
please.
St. Paul's Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Sean Buchanan, made contact with Shamrock on the USDA, and we were able to get food boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a shipment. We have to drive up to Phoenix with a big reefer truck, and we bring down about 500 boxes of food every Saturday. We drop off 3 pallets, and on each pallet there's 54 boxes. We drop off 3 pallets in the Huachuca City area, and then we bring the rest of them up to the Carmichael neighborhood area right next to Carmichael School, Lynn Roberts Park.
Len Roberts Park.
Lynn Roberts Park.
And the American Legion is right there.
American
too,
Legion
yeah.
is right across the street.
Yeah.
And with St. Paul's Missionary Baptist Church, New Jerusalem Church, the Knights of Columbus, and St. Andrews, and Omega, and I can't remember the name, but it's another group here in the Sierra Vista area. We meet there on Saturdays at about noon, and when the truck arrives about 12:30, 1 o'clock, we get things lined up, and there's cars going from all the way down Theater Drive from, what is that, Carmichael Street? Don't quote me on that.
Right.
Carmichael Street down Theater all the way to 7th Street. There's cars lined up to get boxes of food.
And they don't get out of their vehicle, right? You guys actually bring the boxes to the vehicle, and...
That's correct. They stay in the vehicles. We ask that they put a mask on.
Right.
To protect not only themselves, but those that are putting food boxes in the cars. And
so the volunteers are wearing masks also, right?
Volunteers are wearing masks as well. And I can tell you that my mom, who's 81 years old, is out there lifting these boxes that weigh 34 pounds.
Wow.
And helping put them in the vehicles. We've been doing this for several months now, and we do it every Saturday, and we start passing out the food boxes at 1:30. So if you get lined up in your car, let's say 12:30-ish or so,
right?
And we do it at Lynn Roberts Park, and we go until all the food's gone.
And you never have any left over, huh? Or have you?
We've had some boxes left over, and what we do is we take them over to St. Vincent de Paul and put them in their freezer area.
At the food bank? Or
at the food bank.
Okay.
And then people that come in for food during the week can get a box of this food.
Wow.
And there is no charge for this food. If you want to make a donation to help cover our cost of renting the reefer truck and paying for fuel and whatnot, that's fine. You don't have to. But it's opened up to anybody. We've had people drive up in Escalades getting boxes of food. But what it turns out is that they're usually getting it for their neighbors that are shut in or that need help.
Okay.
And we don't sit there and say, okay, You don't look like you need it. We give it to anybody.
Anybody.
You're in line, you need the food.
Yep.
Even if you're helping out your neighbors.
And you don't know, somebody could be in there, like you just said, picking up a food box to deliver to somebody else.
Exactly, and that happens quite a bit. I take
no judgment.
No judgment. At the end of the day, when we're done passing out the food, I take some over to a widow that I know, and she's 90.
Okay.
And she gives it to her neighbors. She helps her neighbors out.
Wow.
So that exactly.
Where's the applause button on this thing? I'm gonna have to learn how to do that one of these days. They have the key thing. I do want to come back to the food boxes,
Okay.
but Tim Kirk asked, "Was your work like James Bond stuff?"
No.
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 You didn't get to drive any of those
I
souped up
didn't get to
cars. You
drive
didn't get
the-
any of the cool gadgets or anything.
No, I didn't get to drive the souped up cars and run down the streets and fire my guns or anything. I sat on what is called a position, and I spun the knob on the radio trying to find different signals.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. And again, it was 6 and 2 rotating shift. My favorite shift was the mid shift. We didn't have any.
You like mids, huh?
At that time, I liked mids.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We didn't have any of the treads, the day people running around bothering us.
Right.
We were able to do our jobs and have a good time. I remember one time what we would do if somebody was getting ready to PCS, we would capture them and tie them to a chair and push them in the elevator and then facing out and then send them up to the 4th floor. And then there would be somebody standing up there that would show them the moon.
Right now, I want to be playing that secret agent theme right now. Tim said, it sounds like James Bond team, though. So, Tim, thanks for the comments, bud. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And any other questions, please pop them in the comments. I can read them over here, and we can ask Bryant your questions. Okay, so I know I'm jumping back and forth. I'm not a journalist major. I'm just doing this because I care about our veterans and our community. This guy cares a whole lot more. He just does so much. Getting back to the food boxes. I know we were talking at breakfast the other day, and you were saying where those food boxes come from. I think that's an interesting story.
Right. They're put together. It's a farmers to family program. It's and Shamrock up in the Phoenix area puts together these boxes, and in the boxes there's a gallon of milk.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to tell us what's in the boxes.
A gallon of milk, 2 quarts of sour cream or 2 quarts of yogurt.
Okay.
There's apples, onions, potatoes, carrots, cheese, and a stewed chicken type meat in there.
Okay.
And again, they weigh about 34 pounds.
34 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a
And-
lot of food.
Exactly.
I remember you brought one over here to the Warrior Healing Center to show us all that was in there, and it was amazing stuff.
Yeah. And we've got, when we're passing them out on Saturdays, we've got probably 30 plus people that are out there from the different churches and the different organizations helping pass this out. There's no, we don't turn anybody away. If you want to show up and help, all we ask is that you sign in and you put a vest on so that you don't accidentally get run over by one of the cars.
And they're always looking for volunteers, right?
Always
I mean, so
looking-
if you're watching this and it's tugging at you like it does to me, and you want to go down there and volunteer, they can definitely use the help.
Absolutely. We don't turn anybody away, and or even if you want to come down because you need a box of food, come on over.
Mm-hmm.
Come on over. We'll get you a box of food or 2 boxes of food.
Right. What your needs are.
Yeah, one of the things that
Like you were telling me about that family, like a huge family. I'm sure they need more than one box.
I've been helping out, providing boxes of food for this family. There's 14 people in this family, 12 kids. A lot of them are adopted. A couple of them are their own kids. Uh, and I was given their information, and I provided 3 boxes of food at first to them. And from what I understand, this family was on their
Thank you.
last box of macaroni and cheese for dinner that night.
Oh my.
And when the husband and the son brought these boxes of food in, she broke down, literally crying because of the help and support. So now for the last 3 weeks, I've been taking boxes of food over to them and just to help them out. You know, they're proud.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, when I run into somebody like that that's emotional, like when we were at breakfast the other day and we were talking about, I asked Bryant if he would come on camera and do what we're doing right now. There was a gentleman sitting in a booth over by us at the country house. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. And as we were getting up to leave, he stopped us. And I thought he was choking, to be honest with you, because he was eating and he kept doing this. And I was like, "Are you okay?" You know, and he was a Vietnam vet, and he was just so moved by what we were talking about that when I run into people that are so emotional like that, it just, oh my God,
Yeah, it was something else. Like you said, I thought he was choking on something. I thought we were going to have to do the Heimlich there or something, you know. But he was emotional when cause he heard what we had been talking about, the different things, and it just really tugged at him. And he was here visiting a veteran friend of his.
Right, because he's from Yuma. I think
he's from Yuma. Yeah. Yep, he was visiting her friend, and he was getting ready to head back to the Yuma area, and it just really it tugged at him. It really got him, and it just just talking about it and thinking about it, it kind of gets you right here.
It does. It does for sure.
Mm-hmm. But you had asked about some of the, you mentioned food boxes, but some of the other things, the compliance office here at City Hall, they will contact me on occasion to help go and clean up somebody's yard if they if they know that this person, one, can't afford it, or that they're elderly or disabled. Instead of fining these people, we will go in and clean up their yards and everything, and then seeing the reaction from them for the help that they're getting is something else.
And again, this is just community volunteers in our area stepping up, saying, "I'm here to help. What can I do?" And it's amazing. And I have gotten a few of your emails requesting help. I physically wish I could help, but I can do more of the sit-down stuff. But what I was going to ask you is, in that email, when you're asking for volunteers, you get a pretty good response, right?
We get a pretty good response. Yeah. We've had several people go out with me, and we've gone out and done the yard cleanup, and it really makes a difference. It helps out the community. The people aren't getting fined. The cities,
right. And to respect their privacy, you're not putting any of that information out in the email, only to people that step up and say, "Okay, I will be there." Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. I do not, when I send the request out, I do not give the people's names or the locations. And when we're there doing the cleanup, I don't have the newspaper there or KOLD from Sierra Vista coming down,
right.
Videotaping it, or what's the
you don't do it for the glory, you do it for...
We do it because we want to help people out, and
it's the Christian thing to do.
Yeah. And we had one person, she was afraid that I was going to have radio station and newspaper and TV stations, and was a Cool FM there.
She didn't want the
She didn't want
coverage,
that. And I
right?
says, you don't have to worry about that. It will be just me and a couple of other guys, and you don't have to come out. They don't need to know who you are.
Right.
Just me, and we'll go in there and get your yard cleaned up, and it'll be good. So.
And there's not only do you guys do that, and you do the food boxes. Tell us what else. He knows a lot of different organizations. He's got a lot of different. I don't know if the word "ins" is right, but I mean you're pretty good. You're pretty well connected.
A couple of years ago, we started working with the Captain's Career Course up on post, and we would go and clean up every Tuesday at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. For an hour, we would clean up certain areas within Sierra Vista. And I want to do kudos for the Captain's Career Course up on post for helping out the community. Again, that's that relationship
right here.
Between
sound effects.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Kudos to the Captain's Career Course for coming out on a weekly basis at that time to do the community cleanup, and it just shows that relationship between Fort Huachuca and Sierra Vista.
Right.
Then when this pandemic hit, we had to kind of stop that. So maybe here in the future we'll get that going again. And let's see, what else am I doing? Food boxes, community cleanup.
The crocheting that you're going to talk to us about. This is really cool.
When I was stationed in Berlin, there was a young lady showed a couple of us guys how to crochet. We were, we saw her over there on position doing something.
Was she in the military?
She was in the military as well.
Okay.
She was an 05K. Anyway, she showed a couple of us guys how to crochet. And this is one of the projects that I'm working on right now.
Wow.
This is a family blanket for a very, very close friend of mine that I was stationed with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a godfather to 4 of his grandchildren. And I also crochet sleeping mats for the homeless out of plastic bags.
Now that's amazing. And how when you're doing that, does that get out to our homeless here in our community, or do you send them out anywhere?
I have given some of the ones that I've made to St. Vincent de Paul, and they hand out to the homeless.
Okay, St. Vincent does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the blankets that I made, it was huge.
Uh-huh.
I just got carried away, and it was huge. And I gave it to St. Vincent, and not long after I gave it to them, a husband and wife came in, and they needed something. And they gave them that sleeping mat, and it made all the difference in the world. One of the things with these plastic bags, mats that I crochet, it gets them up off the ground a little bit. But
Okay.
some of the little bugs don't like the plastic, so they stay away so that they can sleep there on the ground and not be bothered by some of these.
Are you still making them?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if we needed to get one out to a homeless veteran, just have them go over to St. Vincent de Paul?
St. Vincent de Paul, or contact somebody here, and I can get them.
Contact the Warrior Healing Center,
Yeah, and I can probably,
Kathy or Tim or whoever, or Beth.
and
let
maybe
you know.
what I can do is start dropping them off, some of them off here. A lady up in the Phoenix area, I was at a convention and I saw her doing something, and I went over and asked, and she said she's crocheting plastic bags, sleeping mats, and they pass them out up there in the Phoenix
Right.
area. And she showed me how to do it, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Now I only know one stitch. Okay, it's the granny stitch. Don't try to show me anything else. I've had people try to show me how to do a different stitch, and I can't do it. I know the granny stitch.
And do you need plastic bags?
I could use plastic bags, and again, if they want
Awesome.
to drop them off here, and then somebody can here can contact me, I can come over and pick them up.
Well, I have a plethora of them I
Okay.
can give to you.
Okay.
I never really heard that word or used it, but my friend Bob Pittman uses that word, and I like the way that sounds because it sounds like a lot. So I do have a lot. So that's
One of the things with these bags is 3 ladies and myself have gotten together, and I showed them how to make these bags or
Okay.
how to make these blankets, and they've started crocheting some of the blankets. And so, if anybody would like to know how to do it, maybe one day I can do something right here at the Healing Center and
okay.
show people how to do these bags. And the reason I mentioned that because the last
Oh, you see that? See, you can see the monitor better than I can.
I'm cheating.
That's all right. That's a great question.
So yes, I can show and teach.
You'd be willing to come into the Warrior Healing Center,
I
correct, to
would
do
be
that?
willing to come over here
Awesome.
and show people how to do it, providing I'm not tagged with something else that day.
Right.
Because
I don't know how you sleep, to be honest with you. You're so busy.
when at the end of the day, 9 o'clock, that's my bedtime.
I'm with you on that one.
I lay down and I'm out until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a habit that I haven't been able to break. I'm up bright and early. I don't have to get up and do PT anymore, but I'm up at 4 o'clock and I can get things done before the wife gets up and starts getting ready to go watch our grandkids.
So, when you retired from the Army, thank you again for your service. Very much appreciated. What made you decide to stay here?
I retired from the service in April of 2000, and I had a job lined up with Microsoft. My dad delivered.
With Microsoft,
Yeah.
really?
My dad delivered heating oil up in the Seattle area, and one of the people that he delivered heating oil to was Bill Gates.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
he would sit there and fill up his his fuel tank once a month, and Bill would come out, and my dad and him would talk. And my dad mentioned to him that I was getting ready to retire, and that I was going to go back up to the Seattle area, and that I'd be looking for a job.
Right.
And Bill asked my dad what I did, and my dad explained it to him, and he says, "We'll take him." And so I had a job lined up at Microsoft, and I started thinking about it, and man, do I really want to go back up to the nice, cool, wet weather
Right.
up there? And I really liked this area. I'd bought myself a motorcycle, and down here, as most of you know, you can ride just about year round down here.
Yep.
And I decided to stay, and I got hired on to teach electronics up on Fort Huachuca, and I did that for 17 years. And
Was that as a contractor, or
no, that was as a DAC, Department of the Army civilian.
is that like civil, like GS or
GS, correct,
GS,
or
okay.
GG.
All right.
Yep, I did that, and like I said, I did that for 17 years. I did a lot of TDYs, going out teaching the Trojan system to at different units in not only in the United States but OCONUS as well in Europe and in the Far East.
Wow.
And I was able to crisscross the United States from Fairbanks, Alaska. What is that? Fort Wainwright, down to Key West, Florida, and from Fort Drum, New York, to Fort Huachuca, and everywhere in between.
So you've been around then.
I've been around a little bit, and I want to go back to the Monument Fire just a little bit. I was TDY to Fort Riley, Kansas, when the fire was going on here.
When it started?
When it started, and a couple of days after it started, I kind of got up in the morning to get ready to go out and teach, and I looked up in the sky, and it was kind of cloudy, and I thought, what the heck is that? Then I found out later the way the jet stream from Arizona goes across the United States, it was blowing the smoke over Fort Riley, Kansas.
Holy
So
cow.
it was
That's a
smoke that I
long
was
way.
seeing. Yeah, we had.
Wow.
It was a good fire. So I've like I said, retired in 2017 as a DAC. My fund meter was pegged. I
Mhm.
was tired of the traveling and and the work up there, and so I retired and started working even harder, doing all the volunteer stuff that I have been doing. But early in 2000, I was getting ready to take Boy Scouts on their summer camp over to New Mexico, and I had to get a physical. And they found something, and they said, when you come back, we want to do a full checkup. And it turned out I had prostate cancer.
Oh no.
And so I had my prostate removed.
See, now this I didn't know this. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I had my prostate removed, and
They caught it in time,
they
thankfully.
caught it real early.
Good.
Real early. And I met my new wife
Uh-huh.
at the hospital. She was my nurse.
Which hospital is this?
It was the Sierra Vista Hospital when it was up off of, what is that, Wilcox?
On El Camino Real?
Is that where it's at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
old hospital,
The
right?
old-
Yeah.
the old
It's a
hospital.
nursing college. It's Sierra Vista.
Nursing school or something like
Yeah,
that.
but it's from Cochise College.
Yes.
It's the Cochise College Nursing School or something like that.
Yeah. So I met her there. I had no intention of asking her out or anything. I
Right.
just knew who she was. But then a mutual friend of ours told me that I needed to go ask her out.
Oh wow.
So I went
Okay.
down to the hospital and I asked her out, and we went out for a while, and then we got married. And it's been 15 years now.
Very good.
She had 4 kids, 3 boys. They all 3 live up in the Phoenix area. And the daughter, she lives down here, and we've got 3 grandkids.
Okay.
My stepdaughter is a school teacher in the Palomino School District, and my son-in-law is a
Palominas, right here. Yeah. Okay.
and my son-in-law is a Desert Sky Spine and Sports. I think that's what it's called.
Is that new place that just opened?
It's up it's right across from where the old hospital used to be, the Cochise nursing facility.
Uh-huh.
It's right in there. It's been there for a couple of years now.
Okay. And what does it do?
It's what I've had done there is things for my back,
Uh-huh.
falling out of one too many airplanes.
Oh, okay. So it's more medical.
It's a medical facility.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But so again, we've got 3 grandkids. My wife.
What grade does your daughter teach? In Palomino?
Second grade.
Second grade.
Yeah.
My wife's a 3rd grade teacher. That's what I was wondering.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She teaches at Bella Vista.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. The oldest granddaughter, she's 10, so she's in the 4th grade, I believe. The second oldest, the middle one, he is 8, and he's in 2nd grade with mommy.
Right.
And then the youngest one, he'll be 4 at the end of June. And my wife, Connie, watches him during the week. So,
All right. Very cool.
yeah. So it's grandkids are great. They're super.
I couldn't agree more. I've got 4 of them. I've got a 17-year-old granddaughter, what my son does, or what my granddaughter, but his daughter, obviously. And then my daughter, she has 2 boys, 14 and 10, and then our granddaughter is 7, and we go up there and visit a lot. And Kyle and Nathan, they play club ball, so they travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with this pandemic, a lot of the California teams are coming in over here and playing because California had been shut down for so long. But
Right.
yeah, grandkids are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I looked at the screen over here.
Is there another comment or what?
A question was, how long does it take to make these mats?
Oh,
And,
okay.
For me, it takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, depending on how much time I sit and do it. Usually, what I do, I get up at 4:00 in the morning. I check my emails, and then I will sit and watch the news. And I'll sit there and crochet for a couple of hours, and then if I've got nothing going on during the day, I might take a break and sit in my chair and crochet. or in the evening after dinner, I'll sit there and crochet for a couple of hours before going to bed. So anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, just depending on how enthusiastic I get about doing it.
And is anybody else let's say like you start one and something comes up, you have to go travel or vacation or whatever, and you just didn't get a chance to finish it. Is there somebody like you can hand them off to so they can finish it for you?
I could, but I take it with me. I've been on the airplane crocheting, and the stewardess have asked what I was doing,
right?
And I explained it to them, and then some of you might remember back in the good old days where you can get something to drink on the airplanes.
Yeah,
I would end up with a beer or something free because they were so impressed on what I was doing. So
you strike me like one of those people when you start something, you can't let it go. You got to get it finished to the end. You follow it all the way through.
You know, it'd be easy enough for me to turn it over to you and let you finish it, but it's mine.
Yeah,
leave me alone. I take care of it myself. So, but again, I have taught other people how to do it, and I have no problems coming over here and
awesome.
doing it. So, I stay busy.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on camera with me today and sharing your story. It's very fascinating. And again, I can't thank you enough for the whole community because you just do so much for our community. And we are very thankful and very grateful. And for that, you get a for Brian.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us. I do have a few notes here I'd like to go over with real quick just to get a little bit of information out. Arizona at Work is here at the Warrior Healing Center, and you can come in daily from 0900 to 1600 hours. If you're a veteran and help and looking for a job, just come on in and stop by. On Friday, the 14th, which is today, okay, Team RWB Functional Fitness will be at Veterans Memorial Park at 1800 hours. And then Saturday, tomorrow at 0800, they're having the Victory Healing Garden Paint Party, which is the garden that they built out here in back then. The Girl Scouts did an amazing job. So for the Girl Scouts that did that project, you get a round of applause. Good job, ladies. Let's see, what else do we have here? Saturday, from 1300 to 1600 hours, we got MOPA Tea Party at St. Andrew's Catholic Church. What is that about? Do you know? It's
the first I heard about it.
Oh, really? Okay. It is benefiting Operation Toothbrush in my notes here.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, that's tomorrow for 1300 to 1600 hours at St. Andrew's Catholic Church. And what is the address there?
800 Taylor Drive.
I knew you would know it. And on the Victory Healing Garden Party, I forgot to mention, they are painting the background base color on the garden beds, and they eventually will be working with the Girl Scouts to paint the murals. So, again, Girl Scouts, thumbs up. Also, we have the every Monday, which will be the 17th, from 0900 to 1000 hours, the Marine Corps League breakfast. That's at the Landmark Cafe where Marines meet for coffee and talk about old war stories. For information, you can call 520-456-5720. I did read an article, I don't remember where I read it because I read a lot of different things, that starting very soon, you are going to have to dial the area codes when you make phone calls now. You can't just dial like 378 blah 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 blah. You have to dial 520-378. So
I heard that as well. Yep.
Yeah. So on Monday at 1800 hours, they have the Team RWB walk over at Tompkins Park, and then Tuesday on May 18th from 0900 to 1200 hours, and then at 13 to 1600 hours, they've got the Healing with Art. It's quick and easy books, journals, and pamphlets. And that will be here at the Warrior Healing, no, did I read that right? Yeah, I guess Warrior Healing Center, Healing with Art. Get myself confused here. Space is limited, So you need to pre-register by calling 520-378-1176. I'm looking here. Thursday, the 20th at 1800, we got the Team RWB Run/Walk. It's at the Home Depot Garden Center parking lot. And Military Order of the Purple Heart Auxiliary, and I don't see that on the notes. I'm looking. Kathy, if you're watching, if you could type in the date and the stuff there in the comments for me, I'd appreciate it, and I'll be happy to mention the Military Order of the Purple Heart Auxiliary. I don't see it here on the notes. It's probably here and I'm just missing it. And then on Friday, May 21st, from 1600 to 1800 hours, we're having the Gratitude Drum Circle here at the Warrior Healing Center. Oh, that's the Tea Party, she said. Okay. So the Tea Party, let me find it again. Tea Party. Okay, it's that MOPA Tea Party. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. MOPA stands for Military Order of the Purple Heart Auxiliary.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. So that is the Military Order of the Purple Heart Auxiliary Tea Party at St. Andrew's Catholic Church on Saturday the 15th from 13 to 1600 hours. And last but not least, Armed Forces Day is Saturday, May 15th. That is tomorrow. At MWR Rents up on Fort Huachuca, half-price rentals for the weekend. At Buffalo Corral, you can go horse riding for half price for a 1-hour trail ride. At the Recreational Adventure Park, never heard of that one. The Wrap, free use of the batting cages. I know where the batting cages are. Limit of 3 rounds if there is a line. If you are interested in doing the batting cages, baseball, it's a great sport. I love baseball. Go Cubs, go. Call 520-533-6707. Also, for the Armed Forces Day special tomorrow, free cart rental at the Mountain View Golf Course on Fort Huachuca from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You could call 520-533-7088. At Jeannie's Diner, that's up there at Desert Lanes, you can get a free soft drink with the purchase of any food item between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. for active duty and family members. For information on that, you can call 520-533-5759. I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope that people who are watching this will be able to hit rewind or something if they want these phone numbers. At the Arts and Crafts Center on Fort Huachuca, it's the Pick It and Paint It from noon to 5 p.m. For information on that, you can call 520-533-2015 or 520-533-5550. I only have 2 more to go and then we're done. Desert Lanes, love bowling too. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. you will get free bowling and free shoes. From 4 p.m. to closing, it would be half-price bowling. For active duty only, does not apply to league bowling. For information on that, call Desert Lanes at 520-533-2849. And last, the Sportsman's Center from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., $5 off paintball package. For more information on that, call 520-533-7085. And hopefully I got everything mentioned here. If I left anything off, I apologize. I'll get it next Friday when Ron Roberts will be sitting down with me. He's from the Disabled American Veterans Local Chapter 14 here in Sierra Vista. So that will be Ron joining me next week. So Bryant, thank you so very much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And God bless you, and God bless you for everything that you do for our community.
Thank you, and go Mariners.
Go Mariners. Uh-oh. All right, everybody, take care. Michael Zehr, Bryant Sayers.
Thank you.
See you later. There we go. End broadcast. Oh.